Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another reaction episode to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Red, my name is Matt. Hello. What's up everyone? Buffy time. Last time on Buffy, a lot of shit happened with regards to Buffy's trauma and abusiveness. And also the same goes for Spike. Everything is just kind of, he has been falling apart for a while now. But things are dicey when it comes to Sandra and Anya's wedding. Things are dicey when it comes to Amy's role in Willow's life. And things are especially dicey for her three stooges over here who are finally graduating from just being like a comedy nerd trio into actually we are bad guys, we are antagonists. And what's interesting about that is that they stumbled into being antagonists. I don't know, in like a weird twisted way. I'm being reminded of like Steins Gate. Not because anyone in Steins Gate is like an insult evil person like these losers, but because in Steins Gate the storyline is like, what if I was just playing and then suddenly became really real? That is what's happening with these three idiots, because they are essentially just playing the role of like, we are your arch nemesis, and we're like, they are acting as if they were Power Rangers villains, and then suddenly the very real reality of like, no, what you're doing is fucked up, and also you just committed murder. And before that, you were about to commit rape, but even 2/3 of the gang didn't think about it in that way. It wasn't until it was explicitly said in those words that they were like, wait, no, we're not gonna. And it's just like they weren't there yet. Like it's like the reality of the things that they were doing wasn't catching up to them, and now it has. And now they're like, oh fuck, like we have to deal with it, and they managed to get away with murder, but Buffy knows now. And what's interesting that I already mentioned is that like we have like a gamut of like reactions to that, in that Warren is just a psychopath. Like, fuck that guy. He's not only like super quick to move on from that, like he's the one that did it. We have Andrew, who seems to have been really afraid of the consequences, but when they got away with it, he was like, whoa, that was kind of fun actually, getting away with stuff. So he gets a thrill on being above, consequences, being above someone telling him what to do or the law or whatever. Like he gets a high on like actually being able to do whatever he wants. And then you have Jonathan. By the way, somebody pointed out, I don't know if I said it previous episode, I don't think I did, but I haven't forgotten because I said it when it happened. And it's he already committed rape, a version of it, during Superstar. And what was interesting about that is that like the show didn't present to it as such. Like the show was almost falling on its own pitfall that it is addressing previous episode, in that like, it's like some supernatural bullshit. Don't think about it. So they didn't say it to you, but now they are. And now that we have to actually talk about it, now we can look at that episode and say like, no, that was actually what happened. Because in Superstar, he essentially introduced a foreign substance in the form of a spell that made it so everyone in the world thought that they wanted something that they didn't. Which is, everybody believed that he was the best and that he was the coolest and everybody wanted him. So that means that he did commit rape, in the sense of like he took away someone's ability to say no to him, or to just straight up make them want him. And we see that he's having sex with like a couple twins, like European, Scandinavian twins or whatever they were. Like I remember that, and I remember I said it like in the discussion after that episode. I was like, if you think about it, that's fucked up. And like the show didn't, like they felt like the show wasn't interested in that, but it's definitely interested in that now. So now we actually have to address it, which makes it all the more interesting because Jonathan is the one person who right now is like, this feels wrong. I didn't like it, and that's, and I'm not going to say that doesn't make sense. I think it does, because it paints the picture of Jonathan as someone who has already learned his lesson. And now he's realizing that he's kind of relapsing, and maybe he started to feel disgusted with himself and his choices. And he's like, he doesn't like what everyone else is doing and where everyone else is going. So that makes it a very interesting character for me, because like now I have to like think about like where exactly Jonathan wants to go, considering that he's already an offender in a way. And then when it comes to like Buffy, oh my god, like again, I have to keep saying this because I I click on the comment section sometimes, and at this point, just because I'm curious, I just see like 3 comments pop up, and I click on them, and it's all like paragraphs over like Spike and Buffy abuse discourse, and I'm just like, all right, I don't want to read that. Like I just straight up don't want to, because it's just so much. It's just so overwhelming. I'm just gonna keep going myself. I'm gonna form my own thoughts, and after the season's over, maybe we can have like a broader discussion about it. But right now, I just kind of want to keep going. But it's so interesting to me because like last episode, I was just like, it became such a like a specific focal point of the episode that I was just like, I have to talk about it. And like, this is what I'm feeling. And after what I saw, this is what I'm thinking. And there was like, even on Patreon, there were people being like, okay, let's talk about this. And I'm like, all right, like, there is so much. It's just overwhelming to me for simple old me, which is crazy to say because of what I do on this channel. So what I think I'm going to do is that I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to express my thoughts as they come. But like after the season is over, I'm probably going to like look back at it and try to like form like a more coherent thought on how I feel and how I see what is happening with Buffy and Spike, because like that is something that is fascinating, but I also don't know how to feel about it. And the way I feel about it is definitely complicated, and I think that is the point. I think that's the point of the whole season, by the way. So yeah, right now I'm just like, I don't know, it's too much. Because I think I said, it was so funny, because I think I said in previous episode, like looking at the two of them, the way I feel about it is that I feel like what Spike is doing is worse, but like that's my personal feeling on it. And then I had a bunch of people telling me like what Buffy's doing is worse, and I'm sitting here like, I mean, yeah, the way you look, depending on how you look, I think that what I feel is like the way you look at it, and also what maybe your personal experiences kind of lead you to feel about it one way or another, and also comparing both of them in terms of which is worse is counterproductive and doesn't actually matter, because both of those angles that you want to look at it are fucked up. Like, it's not a competition, it's just, this is all bad. So I think that I'm just gonna stop trying to engage on like, you know, a comparative sense, and I'm just gonna try to just, yeah, this is bad, and why is it bad, why is it that way, and what can we do about it, you know? Because I do remember, even previous episode, I said that, and then I kept talking about it, and I was like, I think I'm starting to actually get it. I think I'm starting to like, the more I talk about it, the more I don't like what Buffy's doing. The worse it feels, the more I say it out loud. Like, that's how I felt, and that's pretty much how I still feel right now. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for the recap. Long recap. Sorry about that one, guys. I will say, like, I feel like yapping a lot because it's been a little bit, because I don't know how to say this. I had a rough week. A lot happened, and I'm very tired. But I also haven't said anything in a while, and I want to get my thoughts out, because that's the whole channel. And you might notice things maybe look a little different in the sense of like the angle of the camera and maybe the settings and stuff a little bit. Some stuff changed in my room, mostly on the side that you're not looking, like this direction, not that. But there was a lot of remodeling and moving shit around. So, okay, let's start. Patreon, check out the Patreon, link is in the room below, pop up on the screen. You can support the channel. You can watch the next couple episode reactions, 2 episode reactions to Buffy, into watch-alongs, full-length Buffy videos. So yeah, let us begin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 6, Episode 14. Let's go.
I'm sorry. I hate having to run out in the middle. It's just, I understand.
That's so depressing.
Well, maybe when you get back, we can set up for your party tomorrow. Yeah, this could take a while, though. I wouldn't wait up. Okay, so finish dinner, homework, and don't stay up too late, all right?
At least give her, like, a goodbye hug or kiss or something. Like... That bent so easily. Oh, that's cool. What is on your head, my guy? Is that a crow? It looked like a bird. Oh, there's a cursed sword!
Shiny.
She's been cursed!
Do you think we should set up lots of candles for Buffy's party tomorrow?
Doesn't Buffy historically have terrible birthdays?
Oh, actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. Tara.
If we can invite her. Should we invite her?
It's just Buffy really wants her there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. She should totally be there.
Hey, does anybody want to come to the mall with me for birthday presents?
Oh, I would, honey, but I've got my group. You know, the whole Spellcasters Anonymous thing. We're still looking for a better name. You okay going on your own?
Yeah, somehow I'll manage to pull it off.
She's gonna steal and get herself into trouble. That'd be so fucked up if she just goes to steal and like she gets in trouble with the law or something. Did you steal a bunch of shit? Alright. Kleptomania. Is even the jacket stolen? It still has a price tag, I think.
Excuse
Who
Mr.
wants to-
Devlin?
Oh god, they got her.
Dawn, they need you in the guidance office.
Your grades have slipped a little. Teachers say that you seemed a little distracted lately. I want you to know that if something's going on, something's up, my job, the most important part of my job is looking out for you.
I'm really okay.
It doesn't help that
I
she
know
said,
there's
my
been
job is to look out for you.
A lot of loss.
So, like, this isn't real. This is your job? Okay.
People have a tendency to go away. And I wish I could just make them stop going away. It's no big deal. I'm fine.
So who's coming? You invite anyone else?
Just you guys. Oh, and Sophie from work.
What?
Who's
I'm
Sophie?
friendly.
It's not the
I'll go
manager, is
instantly.
it?
What's Sophie's last name?
Okay, shut up.
Don't worry about it. We're all over the new friend thing.
We invited someone for you. A guy.
For Buffy? Really?
Don't worry. It's not a setup.
You can't invite strangers like that. It's her party.
Hey, you made it.
Hi, Tara.
So is, Spike coming?
No, he still doesn't play too well with others.
I think he's gonna come.
Besides,
He's just-
I'm definitely
he's not
ready
invited.
to come out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just hard cut to her doing that after they're talking about coming out.
Coming!
Just runs away.
How are you? I'm great. I mean, fine. You look... Thanks. I mean, great. Thanks. I'm gonna get something to drink.
Hey, how did it...
Yes, please.
Spike.
Yeah, figured we were all part of the team. Thought I'd swing by.
Hi, we met once before.
Yeah, the guy we were gambling with.
Hi, I'm Clement. I'm Clem.
Hi, Clem.
Tara.
Buffy, Richard. He was wondering where the best place was to park his car. Buffy will show you.
I'll be right back.
Is this a Halloween party?
Skin condition.
No,
He
no.
doesn't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
Stupid kid.
You seem cute.
I think he seemed cute. Yeah.
If we get Buffy, can she start on opening the presents?
I think Buffy's busy right now.
Buffy's making a new friend.
A grown-up friend. You mean the guy you invited to set her up with? It's not like I don't understand why you invited him. I do understand these things.
Yes, you do.
Treating her like a child.
You know, I'm in high school, right?
Yes, you are.
Ugh.
Just slip away for a minute, love.
I don't think so.
You don't want to make your new boyfriend jealous, huh?
Maybe he's not the jealous one.
Of course he's jealous. He's Spike.
You out on a 10-speed bet?
That's what he does.
See, it's a battery-operated back massager. And it's portable, so you can take it with you on patrol.
Buffy and Patrol just being like,
Here, do you mind?
Dawn.
Yeah, that's what
Do
she
you like
stole.
It's gorgeous.
But how do
I
you
was
get
so
the money to
nervous.
pay for it? Yeah, still.
It still has the security tag on it.
Happy birthday, Buffy.
What
Oh
the
my
fuck
God.
is that?
Did you guys make that?
Yes.
What's inside? Oh, nothing.
Basic weapons plus a few.
Just a weapon chest.
He wanted you to have something no one else would have.
Oh, Sophie. Welcome. We're
Oh,
somewhere
Sophie from work.
between presents and cake.
My mom told me to say thank you right away because otherwise I usually forget. So thank you. And also, I can't have any chocolate and sometimes dairy.
We can do official introductions now that everyone's officially here. Donna, you mind getting the door? And Willow.
Okay.
Wish granted.
I wish I couldn't let them get away. That one. Like, what was exactly her wish? What was it? I wish I couldn't let her get away. I wish they couldn't get away. Is everyone trapped in the house?
Hey, great party. You look what time it is. No one's even thinking about leaving.
Yeah?
Nobody can leave.
Hey, can I get you a drink?
Nobody wants to leave.
I'm good, thank you.
I have to ask a question. Is this Fred from the Scooby-Doo movie? Because she's Daphne from the Scooby-Doo movie? I feel like I've seen this guy somewhere. He looks like...
I think I'm in love.
Stop it.
I had muscle cramp.
He's covering for her.
Pants?
What? It's a thing.
We should totally have a slumber party.
Everyone
Yes,
stays.
as long as everyone's staying up anyway.
Must
Yay.
be some late night activities to keep us busy till morning.
How's that
Everyone's
cramp
saying.
spike? Still bothering you? Maybe you want to put some ice on it.
The shade. At which point is it going to become obvious to Spike that she knows? Nobody leaves. Everyone's stuck here. So I guess these wish demons don't necessarily go after the lovers.
Hey,
just
Xander, we gotta
anyone
be at
who's
work in
not.
a few minutes.
You should definitely go.
I don't know why I'm not leaving.
Me either. Besides, Richie, you can't skip breakfast. Me, I used to love breakfast. Tummy's making all kinds of gurglies. Maybe I ought to just feed on whatever's around, even if it doesn't go down well.
Hey, Mr. Passive-Aggressive guy. Seriously, you want to take it down a notch or two in there? We do not joke about eating people in this house.
What are you gonna do? Beat me up again?
I was insane to ever think you could just hang out with my friends.
And I was insane to think... No, wait. You were right. You're insane.
What's interesting about Spike is that, like, sometimes he has these moments of, like, instead of expressing his feelings, he decides to be antagonistic on purpose.
I think it's time for you to go.
Yeah, well, can. Daylight.
Okay, I'll go.
I'll get the door.
Fine.
Fine.
I'm actually trying to move right now.
Me too.
Can't. They literally can't. Okay, we are forced to stay. Alright. They realized.
There's something keeping us in this house.
Or someone. I really need to go.
I've shifted the double meat. Actually, I'm okay here.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I know we all have places that we'd rather be.
Things we'd rather be doing.
Except for Dawn.
Sure. Of course you'll want to leave.
Yeah.
Because being stuck in here with me, that would really suck, right?
They don't want to leave Dawn alone.
What?
Did you do something?
So you've all just decided that somehow I'm responsible?
She is, but she doesn't know.
You know, we're not gonna be mad.
Yeah, only I didn't do anything. I'm done being talked to like a kid. I'm glad you're trapped. How else can I get anybody to spend any time with me?
If you want us to spend time with you...
I don't. Get out. Get out, get out, get out!
She's great at screaming "Get out."
I think she's possessed.
She's a teenager.
She's just so angry.
It happens. We all went through it.
I just can't figure out why she didn't come to me.
Well, you have been a little busy lately.
Even if Dawn does know something, she's obviously not going to help us right now.
I think magic's gonna be our best bet.
Obviously, I didn't bring any supplies.
We don't have any in the house. We got rid of everything.
Actually, I might have kept one or two things, sort of, just in case.
That's great.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to keep them just in case, but as someone who's trying to get out of it.
Just bring me what you have.
So we're supposed to just wait?
It won't take long.
Okay.
Release.
Oh no, you're gonna leak the demon loose. Well, we're trapped in a house with a demon.
Can't.
We have enough unimportant characters that they could die in this house. Clem could die, Sophie could die, and fucking this guy could die. He might already be dead by the time I finish that sentence. Oh my god. This is like the High Priestess fight in Joker.
It looks pretty bad.
We need to get him to a doctor soon.
Oh, hey, just trust me. I promise we'll be out of here soon.
It's nighttime.
Okay, so maybe soon was a bit of an overstatement.
So, you ever think about not celebrating your birthday? You should try it, I mean.
My word.
It's in the walls, isn't it?
fine.
Sorry.
Why is it so hot in here?
I'm just a little freaked out.
He's gonna die and we're gonna watch. Why are we just sitting here? Why are we doing something? Seriously, did someone turn on the heat? I can't breathe.
Listen to me. You're just freaking out, okay? Let me get you some water, okay? I'll be back in a second, okay? Stay here, don't move.
I mean, never dismiss something as just freaking out in this show.
Grab the sword!
Can Spike, like, be useful at some point? Get his arm.
It's okay. I'm okay, see? I'm okay.
It's getting kind of scary. You okay?
Do you care?
Fine. Stay with Spike.
It's not like I meant for this to happen. I didn't want this. You have this thing you do. You have all these friends.
What are you talking about?
What? Being alone.
You're not alone.
Then why do I feel like this?
I just think we haven't thought of the right way out yet, that's all. I'd say we do another spell, but I think we've tried everything.
Does Willow have more stuff?
That's not completely true, is it? We're sitting here with an incredibly powerful witch.
I can't.
Not can't, won't.
No, I can't. If I start, I might not be able to stop.
And whose fault is that? You know, if you hadn't gotten so much of this...
Okay, now you have to stop.
Hey! You're gonna back off.
Yeah.
She said no, and that's it. You're not gonna make her do something that she doesn't want to. And if you try, you're gonna have to go through me first. Understood?
Now we're just fighting all amongst each other.
I wish you would have told me.
You haven't really been
Present. Yeah.
What?
around.
I mean, she's right. It's the truth. Like,
Dawn, the most important job that I have is looking out for you.
Sound like my guidance counselor.
yeah. Y'all keep saying job. That's not something she's gonna take well.
I didn't even know we had guidance counselors.
Wait,
And
wasn't...
you never met her before? And
Yeah, it was her.
she
Okay.
got you to start talking about things that bothered you at home?
She is the demon. I have such faint blindness I didn't realize it was the same person.
You didn't, by any chance, happen to express like a wish or something to her?
Maybe just a little.
Yeah, we figured it out. Buffy figured it out before I did, and I watched it happen.
Hey! No!
All the stolen shit. Yeah.
Half the stuff is from the magic box.
Mm-hmm.
How could you do this?
Can't exactly run away. We're all locked in here.
I work hard at that store, and I helped you.
I took care of you. Is this how you say thank you?
Anya, hold on, okay? Tell her you didn't do this. Tell her it's a mistake.
Well, no, that's so... She did steal that.
No.
Including the jacket, you know.
How are we supposed to trust you, Dawn? You say you didn't put us here, but look at this stuff. I mean, how are we supposed to believe you?
I don't think it's all her fault, okay? There was a guidance counselor or someone pretending to be a guidance counselor. She made Dawn make a wish.
You made a wish to someone you've never seen before. Did she wear a pendant with a dark blue stone?
And little red flecks?
For crying out loud.
Yeah, it's your friend.
You made a wish to a vengeance demon.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Only a
like-
vengeance demon can break her own vengeance spell. Nothing else will work. Hallie, get your ass down here!
You rang?
Well, if she dies, she can't break it. Does Anya have to turn back into a vengeance demon in order to break the spell?
God, you stupid justice!
If only a vengeance demon can break it, how do you become a vengeance demon? If Halfrick dies, that's what I'm already thinking about. Yeah, we killed him. Alright.
Her pendant! Get her pendant!
Yeah. You fine?
There will be no touching of the pendant.
Okay.
What? Oh, did you think I'd be stopped by a sword in the chest? Honestly, Anyanka, you used to know better. Why would you do this? I told you I was going to take care of some business while I was here in town. I just go where I'm...
You know Spike. Oh,
Hey, wait a minute.
shit.
You guys know each other?
Is that your ex, dude? From like 150 years ago, something like that?
Not really.
I thought vengeance demons only punished men who wronged women.
Oh, that was Anya's little raison d'etre.
Oh.
Most of us try to be a little more well-rounded. And
You know,
actually, we
diversify the
prefer
portfolio.
Justice Demon. Okay, FYI.
Justice Demon. Oh, cool.
Well-rounded, huh?
That actually
Is
sounds
that how
good.
you explain your thing for bad parents?
Daddy issues. Sling all the little barbs at me that you want, Anyanka. It doesn't change the fact that this girl was in pain, and none of you could hear it.
This is true.
You people deserve to be cursed. Enjoy your time together. All you have is time. Good luck.
Yeah.
Wait.
She doesn't have power anymore.
It's the curse, Sally.
Oh, she's under her own curse. That's so stupid.
Fine, the curse is lifted. We can all leave now. Damn it.
That's so funny. I thought it would be something more serious. No, it's just a joke of it. All right.
There was always this thing in the back of my head. It's, voice saying like, what if things get bad? Really bad, and it made me panic, so that's why I kept a couple of things. I get it.
I mean,
I really do. But it's time to work without the net well.
it did save us.
I don't know if you noticed,
but
it
at the
actually
same
did
time,
get bad in there. You still said no.
yeah, she still. That's the good part of this, is that she still stood as her ground. She was like, no. Okay, let's get this guy to a hospital.
We're gonna get him to the ER.
And then we're gonna talk about payment. And Donnie, there are 2 words I want you to get used to. Punitive damages.
Think it's worn off?
Just one thing to do.
Try to get out.
Hey, who's pushing?
Who's wishing? Clem is like, hell yeah.
I can feel the dewdrops between my... God, look at the stars.
Everyone's happy to just be out. Don't you dare be disappointed at Dawn. Don't you dare lecture her. Dawn episode, pretty good one. I liked it. So essentially we have an episode in which we are all forced to, kind of like the musical episode in a way, kind of like Once More with Feeling, in that it's an episode that forces us to deal with some problems that we may have had amidst our cast of characters here. We are forced to look at them and deal with them. Before, it was through expression of the emotions. In this instance, it was because we're all locked inside the same house and we are forced to deal with situations that we would usually run away from. And namely, this was all about Dawn. Not fully, but kind of a lot about Dawn. And I like that. It's funny because like I recapped every issue on the show at the beginning except for Dawn. And then I thought about it and I was like, hey, I feel bad for Dawn. I always forget to talk about her, but I do like her a lot. And then I started watching the episode and it was like, actually, it's a Dawn episode, so that's funny. But, okay. Kleptomania comes into play here. And it's funny because I don't think I've ever discussed Dawn stealing stuff. Honestly, because I think the first time she did it, I wasn't paying attention. Like, I think it's one of those things where, like, I think my editor pointed it out to me. And I was like, oh. And then I checked again and I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. And then that happened again and I just didn't mention it. So now we're finally talking about it. But what's interesting about that, and this is something that's so clear to me, because Dawn's wish is like, I wish no one could leave. I wish everyone would stay here with me. But at the same time, like, everyone looks at her stuff that she has stolen and kind of like, everyone kind of turns on her. Mostly Anya. It's just mostly Anya, and Buffy doesn't know where to stand. It's so clear to me that like Dawn stole like a cool jacket for Buffy, and it's the thing of like, yeah, stealing is bad. Honestly, she's pretty good at it. Like, honestly, the fact that she hasn't get caught and she has stolen so much shit is like, you know what? Pretty good. You know, I respect the hustle. But to me, it's so clear that she's doing that because she wants to get a gift for Buffy, because she wants Buffy to acknowledge her. Like, that's it. And that's a sad thing. And you can see it when she gets Buffy the jacket. And Buffy doesn't know how to react because Buffy's like, it's very suspicious that the jacket still has like the security tag on it. And it also is just like, I mean, she didn't say it, but I was thinking, like, how do you pay for this jacket? You're like a 15-year-old kid and you have no income. Like, how do you pay for this? So maybe you're thinking, like, maybe my friends gave her money so that she can pay for it. But you look at the security tag and you're like a little suspicious at that point. So Buffy feels weird about it. And then it's like, oh, here's a giant chest that they made for me. Oh, okay, I'm going to get distracted by that. And you can look at Dawn and you can see how Dawn is already just like sad. She's just like, oh, I went through the effort of stealing this thing in order to have Buffy like acknowledge it, and then she was like, oh cool, thanks, and then she immediately moved away to something else instead of paying attention to me. I fully understand how Dawn feels, and it sucks, and it feels really bad about it. So like whenever Anya starts being so antagonistic towards her, like later in the episode, like you get it, because like you get the character of Anya. It makes sense that she's like that in this situation of stress, but then like you feel bad for Dawn and you understand exactly why Dawn does these things. And I like that we had a conversation. Like, finally we had a conversation with Dawn instead of running away, because we can't run away anymore. Where Dawn expressed how she felt to Buffy. And Buffy's like, why didn't you tell me that sooner? And the reason why she doesn't is because we get to see it from the perspective of Dawn, but they don't. And it's like, just to get a little personal, I understand that feeling. Like, I definitely understand what it's like to, like, I have all these things, all of these feelings that is going inside of me. And I definitely want people to stay and to, like, care, to give a shit, right? But at the same time, you can't tell people that. Because, like, what are you going to do? You're going to approach someone and be like, hey, pay attention to me. Like, first of all, that's rude. You don't want to do that. But second, that's just disingenuous, right? Like, if anyone stayed because you told them to stay, then it doesn't matter, because they're not doing it out of their own volition. So you want people to care, but you can't make anyone care. And nobody is caring out of their own volition. So you're like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm just alone. I guess nobody really gives a shit, huh? And that's it. That's just the end of the thought. Which is why I so quickly latched onto that line, that I imagine a lot of people who watched that, like, they didn't think about it, this line, that hard. And it was like, when what was her name? The guidance counselor, a demon. I forgot her name. Anya knows her name. I forgot about her already. But whenever she was like, it's my job to make sure that, I take care of you, that I know about everything that's going on with you. And I heard that and I was like, Dawn doesn't like that. The fact that you say it's my job to do this, like, why would Dawn like that? Because what Dawn wants ultimately is for people to give a shit about her and to pay attention to her. And you can't tell her, like, oh, it's my job to give a shit about you, because then it means that you don't give a shit about her. It just says to, like, oh, you're doing this because it's mandatory to you? Okay, I don't give a fuck about you anymore. Like, it's like, I want you to see me and you yourself as a person have empathy and want to connect with me. I don't want to hear you telling me, like, oh, it's my job to take care of you. Which, like, I like that then later Buffy says the same thing, and Dawn is like, oh, you saw my guidance counselor. It's like, she gave you a handbook. And it's this thing of, like, you understand that, like, Dawn didn't like that either. You want to feel like people from within themselves give a shit about you. You can't have them say, like, oh, I have to take care of you, it's my duty, because that doesn't mean shit. That ultimately means that you don't care. I'm like an obligation to you, which is kind of the problem with Dawn as well. Like, Dawn understands that Buffy maybe saw her as an obligation, as a duty, but not as a person. And now this is all bubbling out and becoming this at this point. I have to say, I think the character of Dawn is really good. I already felt this way in season 5, and I think what we see here makes complete sense. And I really like the character of Dawn. I mentioned this already before. Dawn has, like, younger sibling issues, and that really came to light in previous season 5, not in this one necessarily. But I will say that a lot of what she's like in, like, a lot of the issues of, like, younger sibling definitely carry over to, like, the person that she is now and what her issues are of, like, loneliness and feeling abandoned because of the exact same situations that like that we see in the show. Because everybody is like, oh, I'm busy, you know, I don't have time for you, I have to go do something. And the thing is that like Dawn, of course, like we see another example of it at the beginning of the episode, which is it's like why you see why Dawn doesn't just say how she feels, because like they're talking about like Buffy's party tomorrow, and Dawn still has hope that, you know, they can stay together and they can have fun or whatever. And Buffy's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go and do this patrol, there's a demon I have to take care of. And Dawn is like, okay, sure, yeah, sure, you know, but we're gonna have fun tomorrow, you know. And it's like, well, yeah, you know, maybe it will take a while, so maybe I'll arrive late. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, you don't want to tell Buffy not to do what she wants to do, or not to do her job of hunting demons, because like Dawn's not stupid, she understands that. But at the same time, you wish that like you would get an inkling of the fact that the person would want to be with you and not just slaying demons all night. Which is why I said, because it's so clear to me, I was like, at least just give her like a hug or like a goodbye kiss, you know, just like, you know, hey Dawn, come here, and just give her a quick hug and just be like, I love you, okay? Take care of yourself, all right? I'll be right back. And then just leave. Not just like, all right, bye, and just walk out the door, which is what Buffy did. And it's this thing of like, well, you can't blame Buffy for it, because she doesn't understand that Dawn is so starved for that like connection, for that level of acknowledgement, you know? People that don't have that issue with loneliness, and that tendency to fall in that, like, they don't understand that that's something that is sorely needed. And the person that is going through that is not going to tell you that. Which is why it feels so... What is the word I'm looking for? It's not vindicating, but it's like, it feels so cathartic when the demon at the end, she was like, look, man, like, this kid needed my help. This kid was so sad. I could hear her anywhere I went in this town, how sad this kid was. And none of you noticed. None of you gave a shit to try to figure out what's going on with this kid. She was so alone that I had to come in and get involved. Y'all deserve to get cursed. And like, nobody said anything, because it's true. It's fully, absolutely true. Because like, Dawn is just suffering in silence, and whenever she's talking to anybody, she's just smiling and being like, yeah, okay, you go do your thing, you go and do your job, yeah, okay. Nobody's asking how she's feeling. And even if they ask, just like, hey, how are you doing? It's like, good, okay, cool, just walk away. She's not gonna tell you like, I actually feel like shit, because she wants you to actually notice by yourself. And like just to get a little personal, just without skipping details, I'm not gonna specify the circumstances of my life at this point, but I remember like maybe the worst day of my life, or like it was like the worst weekend of my life. It was really just like 2 days or like 2.5 days. No, I think, yeah, it was 1.5 day. And it was the Saturday. And I remember my godparents were staying over at my house. They come from a different province, and they were staying over because it was my sister's graduation. She was graduating, not high school, college. She was graduating as a lawyer. And they came over because they wanted to be there for her. And I remember, I'm gonna gloss over a lot of details, but I remember being so miserable, being so sad because I was going through, again, the worst day of my life. And I remember spending an entire day with my mom just hounding over me of like, you know, gotta get you a haircut, gotta get you this clothes that you don't like, because you gotta look presentable, you gotta look right for your sister's graduation. And it's this whole thing of like the whole day, I literally don't want to live. Like, I'm not exaggeration. Like, it was just the worst day of my life. And I was just being carried over and dragged around. And I didn't, like, it was so obvious that I just didn't have it in me. Like, I was just gone. And it was just my mother just dragging me around being like, you know, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, you know, for your sister's graduation. And just the fact that it's like for somebody else that should be my equal, but clearly wasn't, you know, like the level of care that is going between us just wasn't there. It was just like everything for her, and I'm going through the worst moment of my life, and I'm just gone, and nobody has noticed. And I remember, like, first of all, that made the day miserable. I think that was the worst day of my life, partially because of that. But I remember later that day when we were going over to my sister's graduation, which was in a different city. We were all traveling there, and we were going in this like, yeah, it was like this like truck that my godparents had. And I remember it was like, you know, it was my godparents, it was my mom, my dad. I think my sister was there too, but maybe she went earlier because she had to be there earlier. But it was the whole family, essentially. And I remember I was just sitting there, surrounded by people, never feeling more alone in my life than in that moment. And I remember my godmother, and I will never forget this. She was just look at me, and she was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And it was a moment that, like, it's so simple. And by the way, of course, I told her, yeah, I'm fine. And she was like, "Oh, okay." But it was a moment that I will never forget. Like, I have like very little memories of like my godparents because we really don't spend that much time together. She still comes to visit, but like, because they live in a different city, we don't have that much time together. And even then, like, we don't really spend time together. But I will never forget that moment because it was like a moment, a singular moment that to me, it was like, oh, somebody cared. And that sounds really sad because it is. But like, I will say that I fully understand Dawn's situation because I've been there before numerous times. But like, this one memory is one that I will never forget. And it's something that's so minuscule. I guarantee, I bet you anything that my godmother and probably nobody in that car remembers that moment. Only I do. I promise you, I guarantee you for a fact that I'm the only person that remembers that because of the significance that it had for me. But nobody will know that. And that's crazy to me. But and that happens because of, like, again, what we see in Dawn. Just feeling so alone and so much is going on with you. And everybody's just like, yeah, whatever. We're just worried about this other thing. And you never feel more alone in your life because it feels like you're screaming 24/7 at the top of your lungs. And yet nobody even looks at you. And that is a crazy feeling. That is like a maddening feeling. So like, I get Dawn stealing shit and like, I don't care. Like, first of all, that's the thing that of course everyone should be concerned about. Bad tendencies, you know. And she's so young. Like, of course, like, you should be concerned about the things that Dawn is doing and what that reflects on her possible future. That is concerning. However, I don't fault her for it, like, at all. Which is why when Buffy closed that door at the end, I was like, don't you fucking dare lecture her on anything. You should just go up to her, give her a hug, and be like, it's gonna be okay, alright? Just, that's all you should be doing. And I promise you that Dawn's gonna stop on her own, so long as you just provide her with that support. Because right now she feels like she has no support. Right now she just feels like she wants to have something. And she has nothing and no one. Guess what? You should be giving her something, okay? That is what I think. Second, I'm never gonna knock the hustle of stealing from shops. Fuck capitalism. Okay, but jokes aside, like, I really love the character of Dawn. And I really love what we're doing with her. And I really love the way it's executed too. Because, like, I feel like these are topics that are heavy enough for you to, like, mess up. Not that the show has necessarily been bad at handling real topics. That's, like, what the whole show does. But whenever it's a topic that to me feels more personal to me, because I get it, personally speaking, it's not something that I'm just observing, you know, like when Joyce died, like, we had the body and that was like the greatest episode of the show. But like, that is something that I personally don't relate to because I haven't been in that situation yet. And I'm lucky for that. But I can appreciate it and I can see how great it is for essentially just the sheer execution of it and what it is conveying. But I'm sure that whenever I go through something like that and I watch that episode again, it's gonna fuck me up. It really is going to fuck me up in a way that didn't before. This episode with Dawn, like, I can appreciate it on a personal level. And I really like her for it. And I really like that, like, it actually manages to convey that feeling successfully. Which is why I say it's so cathartic when that demon at the end was just like, y'all deserve to get cursed. Because this kid was screaming so hard I could hear it anywhere. And none of you gave a shit. because it's the truth. Because like we follow, like that's the thing about like I love season 6 too, because like every character is so fucked up in so many different ways, and I like that there is one character that I relate to, and her problem is that everybody else is having so many problems and are so concerned with themselves that they don't have time to pay attention to this one other character. Like that's something that because like I will say that I ultimately understand like a lot of the situations of what like my personal upbringing and like relationships that I had with my family and the people around me. Like I understand why they were the way that they were, and I understand that a lot of the reasons why things were that way, like they didn't have any control over. They were just like being handed shitty situations, and they just kind of had to scramble and figure out the best thing that they could possibly do. So ultimately, under the situations that they were on, I don't really fault anyone in my life for being the way that they were. Even if they weren't perfect, I get it. And that same thing applies to this fucking show, and this season in particular. We understand Buffy is fucked up and why she's fucked up and the ways that she's fucked up, but we see it like every episode. We understand Willow's addiction. We understand why the relationship between Willow and her is so murky for what reasons. We like understand even like the awkwardness of like Sander and Anya and why Anya is the way that she is. Like we understand all of it, but that doesn't take away from the way Dawn feels. Like the way Dawn feels is just very much real, and everybody's too busy with themselves in order to like notice that. And I also don't want to fault them for it, right? Whenever the demon said like y'all deserve the red curse, like I don't necessarily agree with that, because everybody has been struggling. That is the reality of it. But it is not wrong when she says that like this kid is in so much pain and none of you are doing anything for it. Because like that's also the thing, is that Dawn is a kid. She's the youngest one, and she should be getting more care and attention, but everybody's just busy with themselves. And I don't blame her. Like, I don't blame any of them from just dealing with themselves and the issues that they have, because they are many. And a lot of them is like issues of like, you know, being in your early 20s and transitioning into the life of adulthood. Because like, I get that. That's fucked up. And being in the position that they are in and having to take care of Dawn on top of that, because Joyce died, that's a shitty situation. That sucks. But they could be doing a better job. And that's undeniable. That's just true. I really like this episode. I think this episode did great in that. That angle that we haven't explored yet, but we have been seeing bubbling up. It's so good. I really thought that guy was Fred from the Scooby-Doo movie. He looked like it. He looked like Freddie Prinze Jr. or whatever the fuck. But I don't think it's him, because I pulled up the Wikipedia article for Freddie Prinze Jr. and I don't think it says that he was in... Wait, you marry Sarah Michelle Gellar? That's so fucking funny. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia article. It says spouse, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Well, I just stumbled onto something. I don't think he was that guy. I think that guy just had like a similar like haircut. But I was looking at their face and I was like, I don't know if that... I don't think that's the same face. Question, should I watch the Scooby-Doo movie? Should I do that? Because like I asked, what was the episode? Oh, the episode was Gone. In that episode, we barely got to see Buffy. Like we barely got to see Sarah Michelle Gellar. A lot of her scenes were just her being invisible and just dubbed over. So I said in that episode, like, I wonder if there is an episode that's going to be heavy on Sarah Michelle Gellar and no one else, because then that would explain why Buffy was just gone. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar was gone from that episode, and because maybe she was busy filming a different episode and everyone else filmed this episode instead. But somebody told me on Patreon now the reason why Sarah Michelle was gone is because she was filming the Scooby-Doo movie. And I was like, should I watch that? I kind of want to watch it. I probably watched like chunks of it on TV when I was a kid, because that movie is from like 2002. That movie's 23 years old now. And honestly, should I watch it? Should I watch it as like a Buffy bonus? Just like, hey everybody, we're gonna be watching Scooby-Doo today. You know? That would be so fucking funny. I just want to... Oh, you were in Bones. So you hung out with Angel, huh? That has to be crazy for a Buffy viewer to watch Bones and to see fucking Sarah Michelle Gellar's ex, but not really, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's husband really together, just hanging out with each other. That would be funny. Yeah, I don't think you were in this episode. Unless he's not credited in the Wikipedia, I don't think that was it. Anyway, I mean, I guess you can talk about a little bit about Anya, because in this episode, Anya was very antagonistic. She cracked under pressure. There was a moment where she was like, I feel really hot for some reason. I wonder if there's something going on with her that maybe we'll see later. Okay, she was antagonistic here. She was a little bit angry at people. It make like you understand why, like you do, and on some level, she's not wrong, because there was a moment where she was telling Willow like, okay, we haven't tried everything. We could be using Willow's power. Willow is really strong. She could bust us out of here maybe. And everyone went, no, we can't, because I might relapse. And like, I don't think that Anya is wrong in saying that, hey, there is an ace up our sleeve that we may be able to use if it comes as an emergency, as a last-ditch effort. Because she's right. And if our options are we either die in this house with this demon, or we don't, and maybe Willow starts taking drugs again, I think that Willow should be doing some drugs. She may do some drugs, she might solve the problem, and then we all have to grow up together and say like, okay, we're gonna take care of you. Okay, we're gonna get rid of these drugs. We did it once before. We can do it again. And I hope you understand, Willow, that like we did it because like we needed to get out, because we were gonna die, you included, and we don't want our friends to die. We don't want you to die. We want to look out for you. So like, I'm sorry that you had to do that. We're gonna be right here with you, okay? And partially it's our fault, and we're gonna fully own up to that. So we're gonna make it our mission to make sure that you don't relapse. Like, and just keep looking out for her. I understand that it would be more difficult, because I can see a world in which Willow is like, well, my addiction is just conditional, and then that's an excuse in order to relapse. Like, you know, relapsing like that would feed into some very toxic thoughts that you might have, and you may become antagonistic toward your friends as a result of that. Like, I can see that happening. But if it's between, you know, the risk of that or dying, I think we should just risk it. But then whenever Anya starts essentially fighting Willow about it, of like, no, you have to do that, I'm like, okay, you need to stop. You need to chill down. This is a conversation we can have here, but you can't just go around and telling Willow like, no, you have to do this. And I like what Tara did. She stepped in and she helped Willow out. And not only that, she was like, you can't tell her what to do. If she just doesn't want to do it, then she just doesn't want to do it. It's her choice. Like, that's it. It's final. And I love that, because it's also, like, you understand that is what Tara stands for. It also explains, not explains, but just pays allusion to the fact of, like, Willow betrayed that trust before. Whenever she did the spell of, like, you know, everyone's gonna forget or whatever, she's taking agency away from people. And I do like that Tara is like, no, this is what I believe in, this is what I stand for, and I'm not gonna let you like force that upon Willow as well. You know, like, I understand that Willow was at fault before of doing this herself, but my beliefs means that I don't want that for anybody, Willow included, right? On top of the fact that she cares about Willow. So I really like that that's when Tara stood in. Tara's just such a good character. She's like literally the best character on the show. And I do like that at the end, Willow was trying to, because like you could feel that everybody felt, including Tara, disappointed over the fact that Willow did have some supplies left. But I didn't blame her for it, because I was thinking it from the same angle that Willow was thinking it. Willow was like, you know, I kept thinking like maybe at some point we're gonna really need it, because we were gonna be in a really tough spot where we can't get out of. So I thought maybe I'll keep it, because maybe it's gonna come in handy at some point when we really need it. And that's exactly what happened. She was right. And I was right too, because I would have thought the exact same thing. I would have been like, I don't want to get rid of everything because at some point we might need it. I understand from the angle of addiction, you do want to get rid of everything. But here's the thing. Magic is not weed. So like, it's not crack cocaine. So like, magic can be useful. So like, you can't really have that conversation when it comes to like crack cocaine. It's just like, no, you can't keep crack cocaine in your house. It's not like you might need it one day. It's like, no, it doesn't apply. With magic, it does. It didn't work out this time. It actually made things worse, but we might need it. But I do like that Willow was like, you know, from that angle. And I understand why nobody would trust her on it. But I do like that later when that scene comes through of Anya just saying like, we could use Willow. Willow says no. Willow doesn't want to do it. And she says, I'm afraid that like once I start, I might not be able to stop. Willow actually, she shows that Willow herself doesn't want to take an easy way out. She's deliberately trying to make things harder because she doesn't want to relapse. She doesn't want to relapse on her bad habits, and she's standing her ground on that. Even in a situation in which it would be extremely justifiable for them to just not care about that anymore and for her to just relapse. It's like, it would be extremely justifiable for her to just do magic again. It would. Like I keep saying it, I think it would be. But Willow decides, no, I'm not going to do that. And guess what? And I like what Tara says at the end. It's like, you don't really need the net anymore because you already proven that you yourself don't want to do it. Tara just told her, like, in that moment, like, it became clear that you yourself are the one that you are standing for your own safety, your own health, getting better. Like, you are the one that is leading that charge. It's not that we are doing it for you and forcing you to, as some sort of intervention, forcing you to get better. It's like, no, you yourself want to get better. And that is already telling. And I am proud of you. She didn't say that part, but I could feel it. She smiled at her just like, I'm proud of you, the fact that you chose not to. That's really good. That shows a lot for Willow, just a little bit for Tara. I liked it a lot. Again, like, it's great how in this episode, like, we are forced to deal with each other, which forces us to deal with some of the problems that we have been having this whole time. So that's cool. I look forward to what is going to be like moving forward into the season with Dawn, namely, like Buffy and Dawn. Like, I feel like maybe Buffy, I hope Buffy's a little bit, more present for Dawn, because the truth is that she hasn't been. And maybe this is me hoping for a little bit too much, but I would like it if Spike also was, like, if Buffy decides to just fuck off with Spike again, I would like it if Spike was like, hold on, we should be looking out for Dawn, Because I think that Spike gives a shit. Spike looked out for Dawn while Buffy was dead. Partially out of duty, but I think that Spike genuinely cares. When Joyce died, Spike showed up and he actually felt bad that Joyce died because Joyce was nice to him. So, like, I get it would be nice if Spike was also aware of what is going on with Dawn now that it has been brought to the surface. And I would like it if Buffy starts to relapse on her bad actions of like, I'm going to go and fuck around with Spike and fuck Spike. Spike is like, maybe you should spend the night with Dawn instead. You can go and watch a movie together or something like that. Like, that would be fun, huh? You should go do that. It would be nice if Spike could do that. I don't know if he's gonna because he's Spike, but it would be nice. I would like that. It would be cool. I think that would be cool for Spike as a character, so I would like to see that. But I also would like to see it from just Buffy herself. Like, that number one is Buffy. I would like it for Buffy to just be there for Dawn, really. And instead of just get distracted by a lot of the shit that's going on, it's just like, no, I'm gonna be there for my sister because she needs it. And that's the other thing is that I do feel like, I mean, this is going to be a point of contention, but like, I feel like, personally speaking, and this may be because I just relate to Dawn a lot, because, this was my experiences. I do think that, like, I understand that there might be an impetus to, like, discipline Dawn. I would, number one, with a bullet point, just be there for Dawn first, instead of just letting Dawn distance herself further from us, because clearly that's not what she wants, but that is what she's defaulting to do. She's really good at screaming, get out. And it's because, like, everybody only approaches Dawn whenever they are accusing her or something, or whenever there is some kind of problem. Whenever she's either a problem or duty. Whenever she's a problem or a job. Nobody ever gives a shit about Dawn as a person, seemingly. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that that's not the way it comes across, and that obviously affects Dawn. I would like to change that. I would like it if we could spend more time with Dawn, if we could be nicer to Dawn, and actually show her that we give a shit about her. I think that would certainly change a lot in the show for Dawn. And I understand that there might be an impetus for discipline because, she's stealing shit. And that is generally speaking seen as a bad thing. I'm not going to make a comment on whether or not I think it's a good or a bad thing, but generally speaking, that is something that I do think that we should be concerned about that on some level, because hey, if you keep doing this is going to come back to bite you in the ass. Like, you might go in jail and disappear forever. Like, you don't want that. But at the same time, like, I do think that if we just pay attention to Dawn, if we just stay with Dawn, if we actually give a shit and we show her that we give a shit consistently, not just, hey, we're going to do it a couple times and then that's it. Consistently do that. Readapt, like revisit and change the way in which we interact with Dawn at all times. Even the way Anya interacts with Dawn, like, of course it's Anya, but like the way Anya talks to Dawn in that scene, she was treating her like a child. And Dawn was like, you know, I'm not a kid, right? Like, I understand what's going on. I was there and I saw it. And Anya's like, yes, you did. And it's like, who do you think she is? She's a person. Treat her like a person. And I understand that it's Anya, so like, sure. But like, Dawn, of course, feels the way in the ways that she does, because like nobody gives a shit. So we need to change that. Everybody needs to change that. And I am trepidatious moving forward, because I do want to believe in everyone doing a better job at looking out for Dawn. I am afraid that they won't. I am afraid that they won't be able to, because maybe they are not as either aware or understanding as I am. But I do think that, like, you know, it's a wake-up call whenever the justice demon shows up, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing looking out for this girl? Because you are not doing that. Like, this girl is crying. She cried so hard that a demon showed up to make her life a little better. Like, a genie showed up because she was so sad. What are you guys doing? Because she's right. She's fully right. Okay. I think that's going to be it for this episode discussion. It was just 40 minutes of Dawn. You know what? I'm happy that I don't have to talk about Buffy and Spike today. That makes me happy. I feel good about that. Okay, I think that's going to be it for this episode of Buffy. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys next time. Bye. But if you would like to watch the next episode of Buffy, the next two, actually, you can just order the Patreon. You can watch full-length reactions and your watch-alongs, some cool stuff that I do. Check out the link in the description below, pop up on the screen. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Take care.